Hey guys, welcome back to Boudoir 101. I'm Jared, a boudoir photographer down in Ann Arbor, Michigan. I'm the owner of Becoming Fire Boudoir, and on this episode, I wanted to talk to you about creating a portfolio or how you can create a portfolio from scratch. Let's say you're just now getting started, or maybe you're a year or two in, and your portfolio is still a little bit lacking, and you want to create like a better portfolio, but you just don't have the client base to work with to get more of a portfolio, or maybe your clients don't want to share their images, or maybe like you just haven't had enough shoots in general to like book those clients, because like sometimes you need to book clients to get work, and sometimes you need to use that work to book the clients. Reach out to a friend or family member to get you started. And if you don't have a friend or family member who wants to like do boudoir photos for you, or if you're a guy and that's kind of weird, I would look into looking for a model, somebody who'd be interested in doing trade work. Obviously, if I were a model and you were looking to do boudoir, I'd want to start off with something a little bit less spicy, and shoot something a little more glam. So you would do that and then work your way into more through boudoir photos once you have those photos. Or maybe they'll want to work with you a second time. How do you get models? So you can get models by getting on Facebook and finding like a local photography group, a local model group. There are websites you can use that I would not recommend, like Model Mayhem. You can find models on there. I wouldn't personally do that. No, I'm not ragging on Model Mayhem. It's a great website. It's been around for so long that if you're like new to the game, I feel like it's really hard to get in. Additionally, you could look for models on Instagram. Sometimes there's those like pages that like tag a bunch of people, and you could like reach out to them on those pages. And I think that's a great place to start. Okay, so now what? Now I have the model set up for a shoot. I've never shot boudoir before. I don't know how to pose. I don't know how to light. You're gonna need a space to shoot in. You're gonna need to learn how to pose, and you're gonna need to learn how to light the images. So first thing I'd say is, what is your style, or what style are you going for? You might not know your style yet, but what are you going for? Are you going for a light and airy or a dark and moody style? That's the first thing. Once you figure that out, what's your budget for a space? Do you have a space you can shoot in that would work well for a portfolio? Do they have a space they'll let you shoot in? Will they let you shoot in their house? Will you have a space in your house to shoot in? Or you need to spend a little bit of cash to get that space? You could look at some hotel rooms. You could look at some Airbnbs. You could rent out a hotel room for the shoot, and then stay the night at the hotel, go to the city, and just like hang out. Same with the Airbnb. You could just throw a party for your friends afterwards to kill two birds with one stone. But yeah, these are some options you could do. So now you've got a space chosen. Now you need to learn how to pose and light, right? Okay. So two things I would do to learn how to pose first. First is number one, I'd look up photos, figure out some poses based on just looking those photos up. I would mimic the pose myself so that I understand how the pose works. And once I get myself into that pose, maybe looking in the mirror, I'm like, okay, this looks great. Try to like trap that in my mind. And once you've done it physically yourself, I think it's very easy to show other people what it could look like. And then you could like have them mimic you, mirror you, lightly make adjustments saying, hey, move your arm here. Is it okay if I touch your hair? And just like move their hair a little bit, so on and so forth. Always ask for permission. And then, yeah, that's a great way to learn that. Another way to do it is to take your camera, find some really cool poses, snap a couple poses in your camera. Then you'll have something to look through. You won't look stupid, basically, while looking through your back of your camera to get those poses, instead of like pulling out your phone and being like, hey, what pose do I need? You could do that. Additionally, don't be afraid to play with poses and do like small movements. So if you're like looking at the camera, your chin's right here and that looks great, and you want to make small adjustments, you could like put your hands in your hair, rake your hands through your hair, move one hair behind your ears, stuff like that, change your position, change your eye line, all that stuff. Those small movements will be helpful for posing. But number one is doing the pose yourself, I believe. So now you've got your pose ideas down. You haven't shot that yet. It's still going to be take some work, but it's worth it. You could even pull up Pinterest on your phone. You want to know how to light stuff. So if you've chosen bright and airy, it's a little bit easier, in my opinion, because all you do is, you shoot for the light. You're like, okay, so we're going to shoot in front of this window. The model is going to be looking at the window. You'll be in front of the window. You can get that bright and airy light. We're going to go dark and moody. We want to reduce the amount of light in here and kind of dim things down. And basically you want to shoot for the highlights. So your highlights, whatever the brightest point should be at, basically that should be the perfectly lit piece of your image. So you don't want to blow that highlight up and it's like too bright. You want to bring it down so that it's like just perfectly lit, even underlit, just a little bit for exposure is great. So once you have your location, you have your model, you have your poses and your lighting all together, it's time to just kind of go out and shoot it. It might turn out horrible, it might turn out amazing. You'll never know until you try. Give it a shot and let me know how you did. So if this video was helpful for you, drop a comment below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon for more exciting tips and tricks. Until next time, see you later.